We will be showing fashion in the 1800s and how it affected Coburn Lodge, Jemima, and the status quo in those times. Now we're entering Coburn Lodge.
Jemima Howard was married to John Howard, and they emigrated here to Canada in 1832. She was the administrative heart of John Howard's architectural firm on King Street, and she was the one that inspired the nickname of High Park for the rolling vista that she planted her cottage or her dream home on that we now call Coburn Lodge.
So my job is to basically figure out what costumes are appropriate for the site, find all the supplies, get the patterns together, and make the costumes for the staff and volunteers to wear when they're doing programming at the sites.
I'm a historical interpreter here, and I'm interpreting a working woman here in the year 1870. And you'll notice that I have my bonnet, my hair is all up so that I can prepare food carefully. I have a working dress on. That means maybe 1 or 2 petticoats, no hoops, because I don't want to get my dress in the way of the fire and my cooking and my cleaning. You'll notice that I have patchwork on my clothing, and that's because this dress is going to be something that I live in. It's not meant to be pretty, it's meant to be useful.
So here we have Isabel and Adriana. They're both dressed in 1867, 1870 dresses, reproduction costumes. Adriana would be a work lady. Her fabric is very simple, it's dark, her dress is a little worn out, it's a little looser fitting up here and around here, and one of the biggest things is she doesn't have a hoop skirt on. Whereas Isabel, this would be an upper class lady's day dress. Certainly not an evening dress, it's not fancy enough for that. But she would receive company in this dress, luncheons. And it's a much nicer fabric, it's a fancier fabric. It's still cotton, but much fancier, much more expensive to purchase. And she's got this fancy bow on the back of her dress. So if you look at the dress, there's the petticoat, and then underneath is the big hoop skirt. And these steel hoop skirts were very common in the 1850s and 60s up to the 1870s, when they were replaced with bustles later on. But they were quite the feat of engineering, I must say. That one just has a petticoat. Nice heavy cotton petticoat with a big ruffle. And it's supposed to be heavy enough to help keep the dress out a little bit, but not quite as much as that. So these are reproductions from the fashion magazines of the time that I was mentioning. This particular one's called Godet's Ladies Book. And there's quite a few of them around, seemingly in circulation. But somebody's taken different fashion plates from the magazine and put them together in book form. And you get an idea of everything. Hair color, there's a baby, a little kid, more shoes. And these are things that the ladies of the time, the high-class ladies of the time, would be reading. And they'd be getting their inspiration from these books for what they were going to wear.
Fashion this time was not easy for women. Not only it was uncomfortable, but most women would wear the same dress for the whole year. At a time when the role of the woman was restricted, Jemima Howard stood out in the crowd due to her knowledge and fashion sense.